Hey guys, welcome. This is James from Redeye Race Cars. This is Mark from Redeye Race Cars. We are going over the twin turbo Challenger. So this is where we are. I haven't done an update on this car. I've seen a couple of things on Instagram. It's come a really long way from the 4,000 or 4,400 pound beast that we had it. It is now way lighter and is way less of a car. So we're running 83, 85 millimeter precision turbos this time versus the Garretts. So we have that. The whole front end is done. We're just waiting for the motor in order to finish that part. Mark, what else do you think?
Turbo kit's made, titanium bullhorns, zoomies.
So question for you. The last time that this car was together, what has been done from it so far to bring it back to this stage? Because I think the last time you uploaded the car, it was pretty close to completion.
Yeah, so the last time we did the car, we had these zoomies that came out. That was the exhaust. And if you guys all want to laugh about how this whole thing started, is when we originally had this car, the zoomies, I actually wanted zoomies to come out from here. And did not realize that A, the zoomies don't fit because the car's too low to the ground. There's too much obstruction. So we had to figure out a different way to put the zoomies for the exhaust. So Mark came up with this great idea of making the exhaust now come out of the fenders, which is unbelievable. It made the car really famous for having that. It's the first turbo car that ever had zoomies. So it was really cool. And then when we were cutting this whole car up and doing all of that, Mark tells me that I'm gonna have to lose my zoomies. So I was kind of losing my mind, and I'm like, please, Mark, you gotta kind of keep my zoomies. You gotta figure something out. And he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to figure it out. And he did. He came up with a brilliant idea. So from the back of the turbo that goes in, we have our bullhorns that now exit out of the side, and he was able to incorporate this. And now this is, what would you call it, the wastegate purge?
Well, the wastegate dump.
The wastegate dump. So now this attaches to the wastegate in a brilliant way. So when we're two-staging, this thing's gonna be popping and flaming and having all that fun stuff. And then when we hit the gas, flames will be coming out of the bullhorns, and it will look really cool going down the road. And we actually joked about what could we put in there to make the flames even more for nighttime? maybe a little
injectors.
A little injectors, and have really big fire coming out, so it kind of looks like, you know, one of those top fuel cars at night. I don't know. We don't know if we're ever going to get there, but this is a really cool piece of titanium that he made in order to do that. It's very intricate, as you see. Doesn't weigh anything, and I've never seen anyone that has wastegates attached to zoomies. So once again, we have a first. You know, right here, this is the bullhorns. This is all titanium. As you see, there was just a hanger that Dustin cut out on the water jet. He's now gonna weld that up. You know, welding titanium is its own animal. Don't ask me how to weld. I mean, I look like a person with Tourette's when I tried welding. I was just trying not to like completely light my hand on fire. So it scared the bejesus out of me, but he makes it look easy. And
James
I can tell you.
welds like he has Parkinson's.
Parkinson's, yes. Tourette's, Parkinson's.
Now, do you think that's gonna affect the tune in any way? It shouldn't, right?
Nah.
It's just piping.
When the exhaust was the zoomy, it wasn't gonna make a lot of horsepower. It was showy. Now with 4-inch dumps, it'll make the power it's supposed to. And that'll just be for aesthetics pretty much.
And then I think, so the last time I still had a full interior in the car. And we only had an 850 cage in the car. So things have drastically changed from that. So the car is now a 6.0 certed car. You can see we changed the seating position. I am actually sitting in pretty much the back seat now for weight distribution purposes. We had to move the pedals. All the floor has been done. It was all cut out. Everything is carbon fiber in the back. You know, we've had the car wired, but then we switched to Motec. My tuner likes to use Motec, so we ripped out all the Holley stuff. So we're gonna have to rewire it a little bit to get the Motec in here, which is gonna be complete game changer. And it was really cutting weight because at 4,400 pounds, I mean, the car was pretty much going as fast as it was gonna go. It was limited with IRS, and we changed the IRS to a full 4-link system. And what shocks do we use? Penske's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Penske shocks in there, gun drill axles. You know, Marc.
That's a Tim McAmis housing and 4-link kit.
So quite some serious updates.
Yeah, yeah, and the big thing is the weight. The weight, we don't know exactly how much. What do you think this thing's gonna weigh?
I mean, I don't anticipate it being more than 3,400.
Right.
I'm hoping for 3,000, but we'll see.
We'll see. It really, really big difference. And then you see on the thing where if we finally, you know, nobody makes anything for these cars, so we finally made a carbon fiber insert for race doors, and we also made our own latch, and we changed the position because the latch was over here, and if I'm sitting in the back, there was no way I was going to reach it. So we had to change this all and make it still work like factory. And don't forget, I still have power windows in this car. So, you know, where everybody else is opening the doors and doing this for all the smoke in there, I just press 2 buttons, my windows go down, which is still, that's still kind of cool.
So it looks like we still got to put in the module for the power stick.
Oh no, it's all
windows?
it's all redone and fit in there.
Okay.
So we had to modify it in order to change it, but that's all done.
So as far as the button goes, how would you be able to put the windows down?
So the buttons
mounts on the shifter.
It's mounts on my shifter. We took the shifter out because we were mounting the drive shaft, but it just goes on there. And then if you look up here, we have some of the other stuff. So, you know, everybody makes fun of me of having a cool suit, but I have a cool suit in my car. Still not going to take that out, even though it's an extra 40 pounds in the car. I like to be cool. There it is. And that will control everything.
Oh, that's perfect.
All on the dash. And then we have this cool thing, we have this oxygen bottle. So, you know, now that we're running, you know, methanol, you know, the danger of methanol is it's odorless, it's colorless, you can't smell it. And if I'm ever in a situation where I feel lightheaded or anything like that, I can just hit this switch, and in my helmet, I have, from my coal suit, I have, it attaches to my helmet, blows cold air in there, and then I can have 100% of oxygen for about a minute or 2 minutes in order for me to breathe. I mean, God forbid we ever had to pull the halon system. You know, the whole point of halon is to take all the oxygen out of the car. I don't want to be suffocating, so some of the Pro Mod guys use this, and we thought it would be a good addition. You know, like I said, safety is, you know, the #1 concern, and that's why we did that. So I don't think you'll see anybody else that has that, but that's a cool addition that we have to the car. The reason for the Motec does things that other computers can't. Fuel tech, I mean, we can control everything in this car. We can, with our lockup converter, we can lock the converter. We have a weather station in the car that gives us absolute real-time data as the car is going down the track, because normally when you tune the car, you do it at your, you know, you do it at your pit area, and then you're gonna go sit online, you wait, and then who knows? I mean, car could blow up in front of you, and it could be hours before you go up there, and you still have the same tune, which is not going to be right. So we have all different tunes that will be set up in there with switches that we can change it on the fly. And like I said, it's going to control the travel. So if the car lifts its wheels up too high, it's going to cut timing. The car goes sideways too much, it's going to cut timing. I mean, I don't want to crash this thing, and we want to have this as safe as possible so it lives to see another day. I mean, I'm not going to drive the wheels off of it. There's not enough money that we win in this sport in order to wreck a $500,000 car. I don't think it's I don't think it's worth it. So I want to live too. So you know, that's why Marc has built the best chassis in the world, and I think he's the best builder by far. I know it's a biased thing, but I've seen other people's work, and his is unbelievable.
So Marc, what's the next question for you? What's the next step for this build? Because I did see you welding some stuff today, but I think that was exhaust components?
Yeah, that was the last parts to go out for polish. Most of the fab is done in the engine bay. I'm just waiting for the motor. And really, we got to do some interior work, the dash, mount the digital dash, steering column, and then plumbing.
But as far as fab goes, this is pretty much it. We're pretty much done.
I pretty much on the shelves have all the pieces made. We have to fit windows.
Yep.
But really, there's not much left. All the back's done and powder coated.
Yeah, we're setting all the
done.
We're sending all the parts out to get polished. All the you know, everything's going to get polished. We'll have that back in a couple of weeks. So we have 2 temp sensors here. One shooting straight to the ground to the track to tell you the track temperature, and this one shoots at the tire for the tire temperature. So, you know, you're supposed to be within, I think, 10 degrees between the tire and the pavement. Well, nobody really knows what that is. We just kind of guess. Where we'll actually know. I'll have a light that comes up on my dash as I'm doing a burnout to stop doing a burnout because I have optimal tire temp.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know it was a thing either. This thing's like the space shuttle. It has really crazy electronics in it. Motec is a very fast computing software out there. Not a lot of people use it because it's really difficult to work with, but it has the fastest computing power out of Fuel Tech, out of all of them. And if you see their graphs, they're much smoother. And since the computing power is so much faster, you get more real-time data. And that's critical when you're trying to go really fast. So every sensor you can imagine, on the back we don't have the weather station there, but the weather station goes up there, and the weather station will tell you exactly the water grains, the humidity, the DA, everything as you're going down the track, so you actually have real-time data. And then after you run the car for a really long time, hopefully you get in the position where the variables are the same, so you kind of know where you're at with tuning-wise.
So quite some big updates going on with the car now. As far as completion goes, do you have a date yet?
We don't talk like
we don't talk dates.
Because when James talks dates, it stresses me out, and then I break things, and then James gets further behind.
That's right. So we don't talk dates. So it will be done when it's done. As Marc famously will say, it drives me fucking crazy, but he's right.
We'll be at the track when we're supposed to be at the track.
That's right.
Not before.
The cool thing is, though, on this car, we can run a multiple of combinations. As far as you see, we have pretty big tubs in here. So we can run everything from a 275 small tire up to a big tire, up to a 16 by 16. So that gives us the flexibility to do a lot of type of racing. Not that the car is going to be perfect at all those things, but at least we can go out and have fun. I mean, I do this for fun. This is not, serious stuff. This is a hobby. I like to go out and race and do a lot of different things. And by having all these tire combinations will allow us to do some different things, which won't limit us to one series. I don't see how you could just build a car for 6 or 8 races and that's all you're going to race the car at. I certainly don't want to do that. I want to race a lot of things and have fun. Yeah, so the only thing we can't do is drag and drive. But you never know. Well, we have to get a bigger tank, and then we'd have to put a radiator in it and an alternator, and right. And I don't know. I'll miss that one. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to bring back. So we're in NMRA. We're going to try to bring back quarter-mile racing. I mean, a lot of these guys, we'll be playing in a lot of the 8-mile stuff, and I'm not really a big fan of 8th mile. To me, drag racing's a quarter mile. You know, with this car, we think we can get low sixes, 200 plus miles an hour. And if you've been to import versus domestic, there's nothing like seeing the majority of the cars going over 200 miles an hour, not just the Pro Mods. You'll see everything from a little Honda Civic doing 200 miles an hour. I think that's way cooler of seeing. Not to mention, I think the racing's better because there's more room to actually catch a car, to go around the car, and an eighth of a second, it's over at the hit. Whoever really has a better light, the race is over unless there's something else that happens.
Listen, I'd love to do like old outlaw 10.5 racing. Twin turbos are legal.
Yes.
10.5 tire, run whatever the hell you want in a steel car.
Right. Because a lot of the times the twin turbos are not allowed to be in a lot of the competition like X275 and those things because the twin turbos are the best thing to use, and they know that. So the only way that the supercharger guys can keep up with it, they say, okay, well, we're going to handcuff you and only put one turbo on. And one turbo does not work as efficiently as two, right? I mean,
that's debatable, but yeah, that's my opinion. I'd rather have twins.
Right. So this will give an opportunity for everybody that has twin turbos to come out and play as well, and see what we can come up with, and see if we can get some interest from it. It should be a fun little series to do. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it for that episode. It's a quick little update of how my car is doing, where we're at in the build process. Next week, we're actually going to have something cool. We're going to go over to see Gabby's at EIC, and we're actually going to go over the whole motor program and show them what Gabby's doing with that, which will give you a lot of insight to really why this has taken so long. He's basically taking a stock motor and making it a race motor. So there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of math, and he'll help us go over that. And he'll give you some really good insights of what we're doing. We think it's a combination that's going to be very popular. Simply because it's going to have a lot of horsepower, and I know you don't have to rebuild it every time you do a run. So that's really the main thing. So, from all of us here, we'd like to say thank you so much for taking out your time. Please like and subscribe our channel. If you have any comments or anything else that you'd like to see, you have questions, please leave it in the comments, let us know, and have an awesome day. Appreciate it.